Literary devices. Repetition. Repetition is a commonly used literary device in poems, in short stories, and in novels. Authors will repeat a word or a phrase or a whole idea in the course of their poem or short story or novel. And why do authors repeat a word or a phrase or an idea in their work? Because repetition is powerful and compelling. Repetition drives home to the reader the theme and the message the author's trying to convey to us. Here's an example of the repetition of a single word from a poem we've already read by John Donne, The Flea. And this is stanza 1. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but if you'd like, you can pause the video and read it to yourself. I want you to see, though, that in stanza 1, John Donne repeats the word flea twice. And then this is stanza 2, in which he also repeats the word flea twice. So that's 4 repetitions so far of one single word, the word flea. And finally, this is stanza 3, the last stanza of Donne's poem. And again, we see flea repeated twice. So that's a total of 6 repetitions in just 3 stanzas. And if you count the word flea in the title, because the title of the poem is The Flea, then you have 7 repetitions of the word flea in total. That's a lot of fleas in one poem. And as Donne repeats the word flea 6 or 7 times in his poem, he's focusing your and my attention on the theme. He keeps driving home that theme. He keeps driving home the image of the flea. And you and I know why he is doing that. Let's take a look at how an author repeats a phrase to great effect. This is from the Elizabeth Barrett Browning poem we read together, How Do I Love Thee? Let Me Count the Ways. It's only 14 lines total, the poem is, but you'll see how many times she repeats this simple phrase, I love thee. Take a look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repetitions of I love thee just in these lines. And now let's look at the rest of the poem on the next slide. Here's the ending of it. 1, 2, 3, 4 repetitions here of I love thee, that phrase. And that's a total of 9 repetitions of I love thee in only 14 lines. So this is very, very powerful because it drives home the message. The speaker wants the person reading the poem to know that she really, really, really loves him. She's not just saying, I love thee once, she's saying it 9 times. Do you get the point? You should. Now let's look at how authors repeat an idea. And this is where we are going to talk about our current work we're studying, John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men. You see on your screen now an excerpt from the beginning of Mice and Men, and feel free to pause the video now and read it to yourself. This is how the 2 characters are talking to each other about their future plans, their future dream, their dream for a utopia for themselves. They're dreaming about a perfect world, a perfect life. They're going to have a perfect little house and a perfect little farm, and they're going to be very, very happy. So they keep repeating this idea of their future utopia, how all will be well in the end. This is the rest of the vision, the utopian vision, and again, you can pause the video and look at this, you will see that this idea is repeated at least 3 times in the course of Mice and Men. And this utopian idea is repeated in only 107 pages. It's repeated 3 times in a very, very thin novel, okay? Because the author wants you and me to really feel how important this utopian idea is to the characters. This is their dream. This is the one and only thing they hope in life. This is the one thing that gives their lives meaning. And we really understand in reading this 107-page novel that the utopian vision of a perfect and happy life with a happy house and a happy farm is so important to these men. Again, repetition is often used in poems and in short stories and in novels, and repetition can be a word or a phrase or even an idea, and you will see in Of Mice and Men that utopian idea is repeated at least 3 times in the course of 107 pages. Repetition is useful because it's powerful and compelling. As you saw in John Donne's repetition of the word flee, in Elizabeth Barrett Browning's repetition of the phrase, I love thee, I love thee, I love thee. And as you will see in Of Mice and Men, with the repetition of the utopian vision, we readers are gripped, and we cannot let go because of the repetition. The repetition focuses us on the theme and on the story, and it makes us almost become a part of the story we're reading. Thank you for watching.